before we get started, this video was really fun to make. It did take a lot of time. It took a few weeks, and that's a lie, maybe like a week and a half, just because I had so much work going on. I'm trying to make this intro quick. I had a lot of work going on, so I was trying to like inch it a couple parts into each day. But yeah, I wanted to get something out. I know I haven't done it in a while, so I thought this was a really cool job to do it to. If you can, please subscribe. A lot of you guys watching, I can see a lot of you watch a lot of the videos, but you're not subscribed. You literally just got to press the button right down there. It says subscribe. And then if you could like it, leave a comment. I read every comment, even the nasty ones. Those, I get a kick out of a lot of them. But yeah, so let's get started with this video, and I hope you like it because it was very fun to do. All right, so this is it. I'm not familiar with them. They're aging barrels, I believe, for wine or beer or I don't know, whatever you put in it. They're friggin' expensive. A new one was like, on average, I want to say like $500, which I found to be a little insane. So anyway, I spoke to the person that I'm doing this for, and I found one on Facebook Marketplace for, I paid $150 for this. I did have to drive to Brooklyn to get it, which anyone from New York knows that that's a job in itself going over there. But yeah, so it's back here now, and I'm ready to get started. I want to start by sanding it, breaking it down, and then the job is to put a bunch of, pretty much make it a furniture piece and put a bunch of logos on the top of it and like a trophy plate and stuff. But let's get started and see how it comes out. All right, so I started with my orbital sander, and then I used, I think it was 120 grit to start, to remove all those black smudges and get rid of that ugly weathered surface for the most part. Then I worked my way down to 320 grit, then 800 grit, and then I finished it off with a super smooth little Zin brake here, the usual. And then I went down to 00 steel wool, which gives it an extremely nice smooth surface. Then there was this nasty little cap I took off, bleached it, and made it look kind of as good as new. It worked really well. Then I did a little hand sanding just to make sure it was smooth. And then actually, you may think, why did I not sand it outside, but I blew it off outside? And I also asked myself that question as I'm rewatching this. I really don't have an answer. But then I grabbed the steel wool, a little bit of Brasso to scrub off all that rust on the metal and all the gook smudges. It worked really, really well. And I didn't want to sand too much off or rub too much off because the customer did want a bit of a weathered look to the barrel. So, I didn't want to make it too immaculate on everything. But, yeah, it came out really nice, and I was very happy with it. All right, so we're done sanding. That was like 3 days worth. Granted, it was only, I don't know, like an hour-ish a day. Actually, before we go any further, some JH Customs embroidered sweatshirts and some other stuff is on my website if anyone's interested. I'll put the link in from my website below if you want. I don't know. All right, but yeah, so back to this. So now we're done sanding, so we need to start organizing everything on Lightburn. And get the laser files ready to engrave, get the wood that we want to cut to put onto the top, find out how I'm going to do that. And then from there, we need to stain, maybe stain, I'm not too sure yet. But stain it, put a finisher on it, and then engrave the top, put the whole thing together, and get this thing shipped out to the customer. So should wear a mask. Let's go. All right, so this is pretty much going to be the layout. All the logos are on the perimeter. It's going to be about 16 inches if I measure it correctly. The insert that I'm putting on the top. And then we're going to have a acrylic wood rank cutout that I need to do, and then we're going to do a, I think, black and gold metal plate. So we kind of have to squeeze it in here, but not too small. So let's get that first piece of wood cut out and try to get it on there. Here's the wood, and let's make sure everything fits, and then we'll get engraving, and I'll kind of skip through this so we don't have to stare at the screen too much. All right, so it turns out the top of the barrel is absolutely not a perfect circle, which I knew already from measuring, but I thought it was going to be a little closer than it was. So I'm cutting this first piece out with the laser, or I cut this first piece out with the laser. Now I'm just sanding the sides a little bit to try to get it to fit in there. It's not going to be like a perfect, like it's going to fit in, but it's not going to be snug from corner to corner. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about here in a minute, but I'm just going to sand this up, try it, and then we will get started with the top piece, which is going to be engraved with all the logos and everything. And while that's going, I'll probably charge this camera up a little bit. And I think we're going to get pretty close to done today, minus the finishing, which I think I'm going to go with shellac, either shellac or lacquer, and probably like 6 or 7 coats of each to give the whole barrel just a nice, like a furniture shine. So let's go. All right, so quick update. This is kind of where we're at. Here's the idea. You know, the plate's not on yet, but it's going to be on here, kind of like that. And then, yeah, the whole thing is going to be. Side note: what do we think about the desk, the workbench? My dad built it for me. Thing's kind of cool. Use the hell out of it. This comes out too, all the acrylics and metals and stuff, plaques. Tell me what you guys think. This thing's insane. All right, so yeah, we're trying to get this on here now. We need to, they still haven't sent me the write-up. I don't know if anyone's familiar with the military, but nothing is ever on time, or you never get it when you need it. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for now, actually, for, oh, my bad, for about the past like week. Anyway, so let's get this attached, or actually no, so what we're going to do is start lacquering this separate and let that dry and everything. We're going to do this separate, and then we're going to put it all together, and then should look pretty nice. Should look really cool. All right, so now I started lacquering it. The top is birchwood, so it's very absorbent. It took a lot more coats than the barrel actually did, but didn't darken as much as I thought it would, but it still came out really nice. I gave it a bunch of coats. Now the barrel honestly came out, the lacquer just made it absolutely beautiful. I only needed 2 coats on here, and I mean, it came out absolutely sick. You can see here in the video the difference from just plain to a coat of lacquer, and then I added one more, but yeah, it came out absolutely beautiful. All right, so now that they sent me the write-up, I can finish this thing up and get this brass plate engraved. I tend to always cut the edges off my plates because I feel like it looks a lot cleaner than normal square edges, in my opinion. I mean, it definitely looks good. And this is a pretty cool tip a local trophy store taught me, was to throw a gold plate behind the current plate, and it makes it look really nice. And now that I offer it to customers, I'd say 95% of the time they always ask for a back plate on the trophy plates they get. But now that it's all done, it's time to screw the plate into the barrel. And I always put double-sided tape just to keep it from moving. It kind of locks itself in place for when I start putting the screws in. Then you know, I don't have to worry about it moving anywhere. It's definitely a nice little hack to keep the plate from moving. Now that it's all finished, now I just need to let it cure for the next 48 hours, then hit the entire job with some beeswax polish to make it shine and give it a nice protection coat. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, all right, that's it. The video is over. I hope you guys liked it, and don't forget to leave a comment on pretty much anything in the video, anything you want to see in future videos. Keep in mind, I'm not a woodworker at all. I'm a laser engraver. So before you leave some nasty ass remarks, I don't claim to be a woodworker. I'm just a laser engraver who got a fun job to do. I'm sure there's still going to be some nasty shit down there. But anyway, thanks for watching. And I look forward to making another video. And thank you all for, if you made it this far, you're the goats. Thank you.